Hello and welcome to Portsmouth This Week. I'm your host, Conley Zani. This show is under the auspices of Rich Rayner, our Portsmouth Town Administrator. Together, Rich, myself, and the entire Portsmouth This Week team are on a mission to build community. And we do that by bringing you accurate and timely information about the events, the people that impact you. We introduce you to the faces, the characters, the leaders in this beautiful town in which we live. I am honored today to have as my guest Olivia Seymour, the children's librarian of the Portsmouth Public Library.
It's
welcome.
Good to see you again, Conley.
I should say welcome back. You were one of my very first episodes when I was learning to host this show, and you made it so easy. And when I heard you were going to be on again, I was like, well, we can just talk for hours, really.
We can talk forever.
I know. So I'm anxious to catch up with you and hear about all the amazing things, because when you were on the show last, we were just creeping out of COVID. The library had just had a flood, and you were kind of disaster, like coming out of all of that. And I'd say you have your hands full. I'm sure you still have your hands full.
We do, but in a good way now.
In a good way, in a good way. So first, two things. Tell, I don't know that everybody's watched our previous episodes, so I want to start with you.
Yes.
And who you are, why you have chosen this career path.
Yes.
And then we will dive deeply on all the amazing things. So just a little bit about yourself for our viewers out there.
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in Newport. So I've lived on the island my whole life. Went to Rogers High School, and then, everyone is in that rush of like, what am I going to do with my life? Am I going to apply to college? Am I going to go do all these things? And I was never like a sports girl. I was never in a lot of clubs. And I really, really loved reading. I mean, from a young age, I was a voracious reader. And we have so many of those same kinds of kids in Portsmouth, which I love.
Your people.
Yeah,
Your people
my
are
people
here.
are here.
Yeah.
And so I was going to community college for a bit, and I really thought I wanted to be an English teacher. Like, that was what I wanted to do. And then I ran into an old supervisor of mine when I was getting ready to declare my major as English and secondary education. And she was like, hey, like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, I'm about to change my major. And she goes, oh, well, have you thought about graduate school?
Oh, you mean you were going into the office to change the major?
I was going to be an English, and then I ran into her in there, and she was like, I'm just about to do my intent to graduate form from library school. And I'm like, what is library school? And so she's like, oh, I got my master's degree here. You should do it. And I'm like, okay.
I remember this. This is very serendipitous. I remember this because that person was in the right place at the right time for you.
It was so crazy. And I was like, she goes, just have a meeting with her before you decide to be an English teacher. I'll set up the meeting. I'm like, okay. Go to the meeting. Sold. And so I graduated with a degree in English from URI, applied to the master's program, graduated from there in 2020. In my dining room, because it was during COVID.
Right. You did the whole master's from your dining room table.
Master's from my dining room.
Oh my God, bless you.
Yeah, and then a year later, I was hired in Portsmouth. Yeah.
Wow.
So
and how
crazy.
Lucky are we
how
to
lucky
have
am
you?
I?
That's so great.
It really has been super welcoming and wonderful.
Yeah.
And the families here, because I'm the children's librarian, I really work with mostly like moms, dads, kids, guardians, like families, and it's just very rewarding. Like,
And tell us a little bit about what those families, like what are, we got a lot of military coming in.
We get a lot of military, and it's funny because I don't think that people realize that like a lot of the time when you move to a place, a library is the first place you can go to get information on that town and to meet families, other families, and meet other kids, and sort of understand like the vibe of where you're now living. So it's really cool to kind of be like a welcome wagon and get people signed up for library cards who are new to the community and give them a tour and show them everything and sort of be like the face of the town for that 10-minute interaction. You know what I mean?
And you get to know them, especially through the kind, they're like, we like sci-fi and fantasy, and we like murder mysteries and
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I'm sure
And the longer I've been there, it's funny because now it's like me and all these moms who like, I'm talking to their kids about the books that they want to read, and then me and the moms are off in the corner like, okay, so did you read this one? And what have you been reading?
Right.
So it's been super personally rewarding for me as well because I'm seeing these kids, now that I've been there almost 2 years, like really hit reading milestones and switch to picture books and, you know, overcome their fear of like shopping for books for themselves and really sort of embrace everything that the room has to offer down there, while also making these like really personal connections with other women and parents who want to talk about books for themselves too, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, really.
It's a good job.
How are you finding like that coming out of COVID's playing into the dynamic down there?
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely been, we've seen, I mean, the weather has kept people kind of outside these days, but it's gotten so much busier. You know, people are kind of really getting back into their like normal routine, as if COVID had not happened almost. People are really sort of embracing like, okay, after school, this day, and this day, we're in the library. And so people have their routines and you see them on the same days, and it's really, it's been really nice being just open.
and kind of feeling normal.
Feeling super normal.
Yeah. Well, so I think this is a great segue into what are sort of the activities that happen weekly that you see families come and enjoy, not only in the children's but more broadly, whatever you would like to share.
So I personally do story time 3 days a week now. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10:30, and they're aged throughout the week. It gets older. So
are you reading?
I read. Read, sing songs, dance. It's very fun. And by dance, I mean I do get up and dance with the kids, which is nice.
You are a woman after my own heart. I love that.
So that is super fun. And then monthly, we always do a craft day downstairs, usually on like a no school day where like staff in the school might have a professional development day. Early release days, we try to have something out for the kids. And then we've recently started for the oldest kids, like grades 3 through 5, book boxes, which the teens do as well. So it's kind of nice because now they get a little piece of it. Oh, it's very exciting. So they come in and they fill out a form, and basically they tell me like 3 genres they're super interested in, and I pick the book for them. And so it's like a blind date. Like they open the box and they don't know what book it is. And they get a little craft and a couple little toys and some candy and things like that. And like I said, the teens have an older version of that as well. So I started this to piggyback off of, shout out to Colleen, who is the teen librarian at Portsmouth. She's wonderful. And so now we kind of work in tandem where we both offer this program, and the kids can really look forward to keeping it going when they graduate from my room to the upstairs middle school and teen area, which is really nice. So
that is really cool.
It is cool.
Everyone likes a surprise box.
Everyone likes a surprise. And it's wrapped up nicely, and they can kind of open it up and be excited, which is super fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then we have 3 monthly book groups for adults, and one of the book clubs is actually going on its 16th year this year. They've been meeting for 16 years. One of the book groups. Yeah, which is crazy.
Do they meet at the library?
Yep, monthly at the library. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's super exciting. And then
16 years.
16 years. It's a long time. Well, we just celebrated 125 years being open.
Can anybody be in that? Or is
yeah, you can sign up anytime.
Okay.
You can sign up.
Because some book clubs are kind of a little like, we got our people and we can't have more.
Yes, but we also offer book clubs in a bag.
What?
Yes.
So is this like a magic mystery box?
This is
a little
very
bit?
similar.
For the adults?
The adult librarians get together and they get 10 books and they put them in a little tote bag with discussion questions, and you can check that out and take it home and do book club like with your friends, with your family, of super popular books at the time. So like every couple of months we'll like update it.
So you mean 10 books, it's the same book so that you distribute
all the same book, yep. And they put it in a bag and you say that you're here to check out the book club tote bag, bring it up to circulation, they check it out for you, you take it home, and then like I said, you guys read it and then you get together, get your wine, get your cheese, and you can sit down and talk about it, and there's all these questions, so you don't really have to think about it. You can just like chat about what
the
you
leader
read.
doesn't have to come up with
You don't have to come up with everything.
insightful.
Yeah. Whereas the hosts of the book groups at the library come up with what they're going to talk about, and they're super fantastic at it. So,
Oh
yeah.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's nice.
There's so many cool things.
There are a lot of
So those
cool
are
things.
weekly activities and things.
Yep, so like cribbage is weekly, chair yoga is weekly, fiber arts, where you can just bring any sort of like sewing, crocheting, like any project you're working on,
Yeah.
you just bring it in and they all sit in the program room and chat and work on their project.
So it's about being together.
Just about building community, being together. It's really nice, and it's really been nice. And then monthly, we do the book clubs, rug hooking, which has been super popular. And
What's rug hooking? Is that like a
yeah.
like a crochet kind of thing?
I've seen them do it, and I'm not crafty at all other than children's crafts. So I can't like explain it, but it's so
We're not gonna do a demo
satisfying
right
to watch.
now.
No,
Yeah,
I unfortunately
no, okay.
am a woman of many talents, but that is not it.
It's okay.
But it's really
okay.
cool, and you learn how to do it, and they'll take you at like any level, and you can learn how to do it. And then Dungeons and Dragons, which I have played several times. It is
D&D.
so fun. It's hosted by John at
What's
the
your
library.
character?
My character's name was Seraphina. She was a human druid. I had like nature magic.
Oh.
It's super fun, and John is a
you've
wonderful
got
host.
nature magic.
I've got nature magic.
I love it.
So those are all like the programs that you can come to all the time, as well as, like I said, the teen book boxes in the teen area, and then the monthly take and make crafts. So the teen librarian and Nicole, the head of reference and the assistant director, put together these little like crafts that you can just take home, and then you can make them at home. And I think one of them was like reusable parchment paper, and you like melt the beeswax and turn it into this reusable like parchment paper. It was really cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
We have cool stuff.
All right, cool stuff happening all the time. And then I know
Yes.
you've got some special events coming up too,
Yes.
right?
So we're getting into the warm season. So on May 9th, we're having the URI Master Gardener come in and do a talk about monarch butterflies.
Yes.
The last talk they did last month was about composting, I think.
Okay.
And that was pretty well received. Like, we had a lot of people come in for that, which was cool. And
Yeah.
then May 13th is New England Computer Recycling Event Day. So you can bring in your old computers, laptops, monitors, keyboards, cell phones from 10 to 2. And we,
Wow.
we collect them and then give them to the company that like refurbishes and recycles them, which
Okay.
is really cool.
Do we
So
plan
if
on
you're-
coming in with our stuff, like
Yeah,
getting out of our car, coming on
coming in and dropping it off.
Because I've been to the one maybe at the high school where it seems like, a long line of cars and they're just,
They just take it.
you might get overwhelmed. I mean,
I
a lot of
know.
people
So
wanna
it's
do
like
that.
anything that you have in your house tech-wise that you want to get rid of, you can drop it
Okay,
off.
Love it.
Yeah, and then June 3rd is the plant sale, which raises money for the library, and it's
Okay.
hosted by the Garden Club, so
Okay.
that's super exciting.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we get into summer reading.
All right, well, let's talk about that because
Yeah.
that's a big program that you
big
do
one.
every year.
Yes,
So
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
And it's for everyone. It's for adults too.
Adults too, and I don't think everybody knows that. It's adults too.
Yeah.
So the kids theme this year is Find Your Voice. So we're really focusing on books that really build like self-confidence, getting kids to sort of speak up for themselves, be who they are, and be really proud of it, which is great. So we're doing a lot of programming based on books that really support that, as well as crafting that kind of allows the kids to have a lot of like artistic sort of independence and make things that they like, that they want to express themselves.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really exciting. And then the teens theme is rock, paper, scissors. So the goal for them is engagement with the library through reading and activities, which is really exciting. And it's just for teens, and it's the only one that's just fully online. So they can do everything from their phones, because we know that our teens are very tech savvy.
Yeah.
And they can be super independent, and they're having some really fun special events like an online gaming night. They're doing extra sessions of Dungeons and Dragons, because we also offer Dungeons and Dragons for teens and middle schoolers.
Oh,
And
wow.
they've been really popular. And then the raffle baskets they can win are themed to the rock, paper, scissors. So the rock basket is themed as outdoors, the paper basket is journaling and self-discovery, and then the scissors basket is crafts.
So
Yeah, it's super
fantastic.
fun. And then the adults are doing like now showing at the library as like movie themed. So
Okay.
your goal is to read a book that aligns with an iconic famous film. and you've got different sort of genres. Like for the Jaws week, you'll need to read a book that takes place on the beach, involves wild animals, or is like a survival story.
Oh, so you all give us the film?
Yeah, we tell
say it's Jaws week.
It's Jaws
so
week, and then you're going to read something similar to that.
What are some of the other? Now I'm super curious. You've got my interest peaked. So there's a Jaws week. What else?
Yeah, so there might be like a famous romance movie. Like say the movie was Titanic. You'd want to read a book that either takes place on a boat, is a romance, like star-crossed lovers, things like that. You want to like match the vibe to the movie.
Match the vibe.
And then you come in and you tell us you read the book, you get a ticket, and you put it in to win one of the raffles. And the adult raffle baskets are always super exciting. They always have wine, they always have like fancy things in them. They get stuff from a lot of local places, which is cool.
Serious raffle basket.
It's a serious raffle basket.
You should take this very seriously.
Take it very seriously. Summer reading is a big deal.
Okay, I think I'm going to be in. I'm going to be in.
I'm going to sign you up myself.
And so, well, you got it. So every book, I can read multiple books. If it's Jaws week, I can do multiple.
Yeah, if you can.
And it's on your honor.
On your honor.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody cheats.
I don't think anybody cheats. And it's nice because a lot of the adults, like, and I think you can relate to this, we're so busy.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to find time to read for yourself can be really hard, especially for the parents who like have kids and you're trying to make sure that they're keeping up with everything. So doing summer reading is a really nice way to like incentivize
set
yourself to read for yourself when you love it.
I fully relate. I feel like I'm only able to read like when I go on vacation, and when I go for that week, I read like 8 books.
Yes,
you know, I'm just
you're like I
I'm
got to get it in
voracious.
now.
And then I come home, and I do try to read every night before I go to sleep, but then I kind of get a couple pages in, and I'm, you know,
oh, see, I'm
like,
the opposite. If I start reading before bed, I'm up until 2 in the morning. I can't put it down.
Seriously?
That hasn't gone away since I was a kid. I used to like stay up all night.
Yeah, it was like your little vice.
Yeah, it is. I'm
good vice.
I'm big on escapism, so it's nice to just kind of sink into like a fantasy novel and be in that world for a bit. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So
Well, I love that. Yeah, but I do relate to it. It's busy. So what a great thing to have this summer reading program for everybody, and for the kids setting really great habits, and for the adults hopefully pulling us back into
and then you see your parents reading, and they're setting a good example too. Like you can think of it as like I'm reading for myself, but also my kids are now going to see me reading and doing this with them. It's a family event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
So summer reading, I feel like I've interrupted you. What else?
No, you haven't. So some new things are available for checkout that people might not have known about. So we've got a metal detector now.
You can check out a metal detector at the library?
Metal detector, yes.
Wow,
because they're super expensive.
Yes.
And you can check out a metal detector, and you can keep it, I think, for the week.
Did somebody give you one, or did the library say,
got a grant for it?
You got a grant.
Yeah,
but there was a need. There was a perceived need.
Amazing at getting grants for really cool stuff. So
That's fabulous.
she is fabulous. Carolyn Magnus is absolutely fabulous. The metal detector, you can check it out and go use it wherever you want to use it. Take it to the beach. That's what my dad used to do with us. He would take it to the beach, and we would dig up quarters. That would be what we found.
And maybe some other treasures.
And maybe
Sometimes
some other
you get a
treasures. Sometimes you do. So that's available, and it's very similar to check out as the telescope and the fishing poles, because we do have those as well. And summer's coming up, so the telescope is pretty popular, and you get it for the week, and you can use it, and it comes with all its bits and bobs and the guides and when to look at things. It's really cool. So keep an eye on like the sky, and then decide when you want to use it.
Okay, so if I want the telescope, I come and I just put my name down for a certain week, or
no? So
how's it work?
If it's there when you come in, you can take it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't do a list for it because it would be like crazy long.
You'd have to hire a full-time staff to seal.
So, but you can't renew it. Like once you have it for the week, it has to be there for somebody else to check out.
Okay.
And so, yeah, but it's really popular. And then we also have 4 Kindles that you can take home, which is really exciting. Yes.
Okay.
And it's been really popular for people who are thinking about buying a Kindle but want to make sure they like using an e-reader before they go and buy one.
Right.
So that's been cool.
Kindles, that makes me think about, like, how do you find technology changing the library experience at all? Like, as you mentioned, your teens are like, clearly you're doing some programming around that. Like, there's no risk of people not needing a library, though.
No, to us, no, because we really adapt. You know, like I do, like part of my story time includes like technology. Like we do dance-alongs on a big screen and play music and do sing-alongs. Like it's all about adapting it to use, you know, to make it user-friendly for your patrons, to kind of bridge the digital divide, like bridge that gap of being like, technology is super accessible and not scary. And it doesn't mean that, you know, the traditional uses of the library are no longer, you know, important, but they just change and you just add things and it makes it so that we can actually offer more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the pie is just getting
bigger.
And nothing's taking away from anything.
No.
Now, is it still, I haven't been in a while, and shame on me, I need to get in there. You're making me all excited, so I'm coming in. But you can go and use computers and all of that. Like that's available. Are there any classes or anything on how to use computers and like again bridging that divide?
Absolutely.
Right?
So based on need, we've definitely done some things in the past. Colleen, the teen librarian, has hosted some programs. You know, she did an iPhone program for people who maybe are new to using an iPhone or a smartphone. She did one about using like the Google Suite, so like Google Docs and Sheets and things like that. So we definitely we definitely try to offer things that we know people would want. And sort of make sure that they're feeling supported.
So it sounds like your whole team there has to be really creative.
The team,
you know, you
at
mentioned
the Portsmouth Library
Carolyn in particularly.
is absolutely wonderful. We're very lucky that we all are very similar in what we want to offer to the patrons, and it's definitely a great team, and we really, really care about what people are experiencing when they walk in the door.
So tell me about that. So when I walk in, like what's the lay of the land there? Like there's sort of...
You know, as soon as you walk in, you are greeted by our circ staff who are amazing. There's usually 1 or 2 people on at all times. They're always happy to help you find things. And then if you're going over to the computer area, you'll run into John, Colleen, or Nicole, and they're all wonderful. Nicole and John are both notaries, so if you ever needed something notarized, you could do that with us.
Is it free or no?
Free.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And then, you know, you can use the computers, you can use the copier, fax machine, printer. We have all of that. The Book Nook, where we actually have a little bookstore and you can buy books, and the money all gets donated to the library, which is great. And then you can head downstairs in the children's room. We have computers and iPads as well. And then, you know, toys and all kinds of things for you to use. So that's kind of the layout.
Absolutely everything. And I love hearing you. I hear the energy in your voice about this team. And that makes a world of difference, doesn't it? When you're working with amazing people and creative people. And
absolutely.
I'm really blown away by all the new things I'm hearing. You know, so what are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about the transition to the new system. We are getting a new system at the library.
What do you mean by that? What do you
mean
by
a new cataloging and check-in, you know, our cataloging system.
That sounds huge.
Yes, so we're switching from sort of a closed program, like a computer program, to a web-based open source program, which is really exciting. So as of May 1st, everyone who will need to have upgraded to Libby, because what we used to use called Overdrive is now sort of done a whole revamp of all of their everything. And the new app is called Libby.
They're everything.
They're everything. And you can get access on Libby to your ebooks and audiobooks. They play right in the app. You can read right in the app, and everything's there. And that's really exciting.
So Libby is the app.
Libby is the app.
That I would put on my phone or my iPad.
And you connect it to your library card, and then you have access to all of the e-zone is what we call it, which has everything that's digital, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
It is cool. And the app, I love it. I use it all the time. I wasn't a big e-book person, and then I got into it, and now I'm like super hooked. Because if I leave my Kindle somewhere, but I have my phone, I can just pull up the app, and if I'm waiting in line somewhere, or you have a book all the time. All the time I have a book because I have my phone.
That's pretty spectacular.
It's pretty cool. If you're
Okay.
on the go all the time and you don't always have room in your bag for, especially because I read a lot of fantasy novels, and fantasy novels happen to be huge.
Yeah.
I can just have it
Right.
on my phone or
Yes.
on my Kindle
Like-
and stick it in my purse.
Right.
Yeah, well, because I was always that girl. Everywhere we go, they're like, Olivia, what's in your bag? I'm like, it's a book. Just
Yeah.
it's a book in my bag. But so
Right.
that's really exciting. And then from the May 18th to the 21st, the online catalog will be on pause while all of our information is transported from the closed system to the new system.
Right, so just be patient.
Just be patient,
Yeah.
because the 17th, which is the day right before that starts, is the last day to place holds, renew anything, update your library card record, or extend due dates.
Okay.
And then we won't be able to, do that for 3 days, but then the 22nd, the new system will be up and running,
Yep.
and we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, so is my Libby, if I download that app, that's through the Portsmouth Library? Or is
Yes.
that, yeah.
It's
okay.
connected to your library card.
Okay.
And connected to the Ocean State Library's eZone, which is the same as Overdrive. It's just a new look. Like Overdrive owns it. They've just rebranded.
Yeah,
basically.
and trying to be a little more user-friendly or
It's
whatever.
super user-friendly.
Well, that is really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's really exciting. We've done staff trainings this whole week. We were closed Wednesday morning for half the day. We all did training together. And so we're all really kind of getting our feet wet and using the new system and, working hard to make sure that we know it to the best of our ability before we launch it. So, yeah,
Oh, that is incredible.
it's been good.
So, after talking to you, I think, touched, blown away by this idea. You're way more than a library.
Yeah. Libraries
Right?
are more than sort of a place where you go and
It's like a
dust
community
off
center.
Yeah, dust off a
bit.
card catalog and get shushed. It's different. Like, we're not a silent library. We have people who meet there to, have insurance meetings. We have people who meet there to get things notarized. We have people who come in to, send things that are really important documents, and we have people come in to meet about, like the historical sort of things that we have, the whole Portsmouth History Center, all the books that we have, and all the old families that lived here. It's really a hub. It's like a community center now. That's what libraries really are kind of striving to be, I think, in the 20th century, is what
Yeah.
I was taught in library school, is how to really think about your job and how it's not just, checking out books. It's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, when a family lands in a town, one of the first places they go
It's a library.
is a library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really nice because, like I said, it really is, you're able to give them, set the tone for their experience there, which
Yeah.
is really, really cool.
Yeah. Well, it is fabulous, and I can't wait to pop back in. And
We'll be so happy to see
and
you.
yeah, and you are the perfect person to set the tone
thank you
at
so
that
much.
library.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
It's been so nice.
I know. It flew by.
It did.
Please come again.
I
very,
will.
very
I
soon.
will.
Bye.
I will.
This has been Portsmouth This Week with my guest, Olivia Seymour, the children's librarian at the Portsmouth Public Library. We'll see you next time.
The Newport Navy Choristers is a local choral group associated with the military that raises money for local 501c3 organizations. If you would like to join us on our journey and learn more about us or become one of our sponsors for a concert to benefit your organization, please visit us at www.newportnavychoristers.org.